Hello, hi, welcome, how are you? My name is Leona. I'm also known as Crafting by the Pound. I'm sorry I'm talking in this voice, but I feel like I've done this intro 11 times. Today is a little unconventional type of video. It's going to be a vlog, but not in the traditional sense of a vlog. I think I've done vlogs on this channel before, and let me roll up my sleeves for this. But I don't think that it was the type of vlog that I wanted to put forth. I think if anything, I was imitating other artists and the vlogs that they put out. And now I just want to do something that's unique to me. Not unique in the sense of what it is, but just unique to who I am as a creator. So mostly when I do my creating, I am horrible at filming real-time in studio, in office stuff. I'm good if I'm on Twitch. That's mostly where I get a lot of my art footage from, because I have sat down and I am just pretty much doing everything that I can on my list in the time that I have to do it. I am, I am horrible if, let's say for example, if I am creating coloring pages off camera, I'm horrible of pulling out my phone and starting to record the process. I'm horrible at it. So this footage I have here, if I can grab it, I'll grab it. If I can pull it from somewhere else, I'll do that. And for this particular stream, I did two different things. I animated my YouTube intro, which is what you'll see at the beginning of this video, and I also worked on some coloring pages for an up-and-coming coloring book I want to get out. So I figured instead of splicing the footage for two different types of videos, like have an animation video, stop, and then have a coloring page video, I decided just to keep it all in one and create a vlog from it. So I will have shots where it's my face to the camera, and then I will have my voiceover for the actual footage of the day that I filmed the process of this. And then I'll probably have some face to camera stuff if I feel inclined to kind of jump in and say something else, elaborate or something like that. I'm very nervous to do a video like this, and I'm also doing it at the midnight hour before I want the video to be scheduled to be published on YouTube. So if you're watching this, that means, if you're watching this on September 6th, that means that I got it out in time. If you're watching this anytime after September 6th, that means I did not get to my deadline, and that procrastination is real. If you didn't know, I'm a huge procrastinator, but I think with this type of video, I won't be so pressured, because I have been pressuring myself. I won't be so pressured to get these videos out in the way I think other people expect me to get them out, if that makes sense. I get these, as I'm doing it this way, I'm not working harder, I'm working smarter. And if you have followed me on any of my social media, that's pretty much been my slogan for a long time. I don't like to work harder, I like to work smarter. I have no problem putting in hard work towards smart actions. It's that working harder and being dumb at the same time that bothers me. So yeah, this is my intro. I don't really have much to segue you into this video. I think you pretty much just have to experience it. I actually get a kick out of watching these type of videos, these process videos with, voiceovers of breaking it down and explaining the process, or just talking in general while I'm watching the work happen on screen. So since I like to watch those type of videos, I'm gonna present to y'all the type of videos I like to watch, and I hope that it resonates and that y'all enjoy it. So I'll go ahead and let y'all get into the actual meat of this video, and I will talk to y'all either in the voiceover or another face to camera situation later in the video. All right, now I will talk to y'all a little later. Bye, y'all. Hey, now you're in the voiceover, Leona. I thank y'all so much if y'all did get through that intro. I am so sorry. I am so rusty with these parts of the videos that I want to do. I am going to try to get better. I've seen some videos that have inspired me to try to become a little better in my video creation, and I think that's one of the hindrances that I have dealt with is my video creation. And I think that's a great segue into why I wanted to reanimate my YouTube intro. Now, I don't know if those of you who are watching have been with me since the beginning of Crafting by the Pound, my YouTube channel, or not, but there was a animated YouTube intro I used to have, and it was so basic. I think at that time, well, I'm not even gonna put that on Procreate. I'm gonna just stick with that being mine. It was just such a basic animation, and I was very proud of it. I hate to call it basic, but that's pretty much what it was. I didn't really become experimental with it. I didn't try to go hard with it at all. I just wanted an animated intro, and everything I was seeing on YouTube at that time to teach myself how to do it was with After Motion, or no, not Motion, but not After Motion, that's After Effects, Motion, like stuff like I don't think I had at that time. So I was like, let me use what I have, and I just played around in the animation capabilities of Procreate, because I think at that time that's when the animation capabilities came to Procreate. And it served its purpose. It wasn't detailed or anything like that, and I didn't really have the illustration skills to know what I wanted at that time. But this animation, like I said, I just rebranded. I think I had just rebranded at the beginning of this year with a new color palette, a new illustration look, and I noticed that when I update or rebrand, my rebrand kind of goes on par with my illustration skills, and I'm thankful for that. But at the same time, it does get kind of annoying having to go through all my social medias, go through my website, and then add the rebranded images. But it's fun. I guess it's fun. It's like, it's taking out the old and bringing in the new. So for this one, I really wanted to just capitalize on that rebrand. There was so many ideas I had for this rebrand that I just wanted to have a universal look across the board. I didn't want anything to be reminiscent of the old Crafting by the Pound or the old style or presence that Crafting by the Pound had before. And I think especially with me reopening my shop at this time, and not having the Instagram that I had from the time that I opened my shop back in 2017, because I deleted that one. I deleted that one. And I had just reopened a new Instagram account. I just wanted a freshness. I just wanted to refresh. So for this one, I've seen, I think at this point I had subscribed to a lot of artists on YouTube. I had been watching a lot of artists' processes on YouTube, and I just really wanted to step my game up, not so much in a competitive way, but in the sense of when you see better, you'll do better. And I wanted to look like I knew what I was talking about in these videos. Like I wanted my intro, I wanted every part of my video editing process or my video creation process to at least look like I know what I'm talking about, and I do have the capabilities to be on par with some of my favorite illustrators and artists. So what I really I didn't want to work harder. So I pulled in the logo I had created, which you'll see on all my social medias. This is the banner that you'll see on my YouTube, and the banner that you'll see on my Procreate, and I think on my Etsy at the time. And so I decided to just go by letters. I figured, first step, let the letters come in one at a time. Now, unfortunately, the P and the O in pound, they were too closely together, so I just pretty much let them be one and go from there. And then after I separated every single letter, I then decided that the next phase of the animation was going to be to kind of create movement with Crafting by the Pound, the logo. And that's where it got fun. That's where it got really, really fun. And I have to say, I think this is when I actually was starting to cook. Because this is probably the as far as my animation capabilities are. But it wasn't so much necessarily people in the chat of this stream that were hyping me up. It was more or less me just wanting to break convention or break what I'm comfortable with and go fully in. And like I said, if y'all be the better judge, as I said in the intro, But I think I did a pretty good job of just experimenting and just trying my hand at something that was new. Now, something else that I did, I pulled, so what I've been using for reference is my actual banner. So I pulled in the Doodle Art Illustrations, subtitle, and I put that at the bottom because I wanted to do something with that. And I can't remember until I get to the footage exactly what I did. But I really wanted Crafting by the Pound to be all movement. I wanted there to be so much movement going on with the header, with the logo of Crafting by the Pound, that I kind of went crazy. And like, I think at a certain point of this animation, I thought I was done. But then I got my second win and I went a little bit harder. I went a little bit harder, which is not a bad thing. It's just, I have to, I don't know if I could plan out my projects, because the one thing I've noticed that when some of my best creations have been just me just playing and having fun and letting it take me where it wants to go. So as you can see also, I guess I decided to do somewhat of the same thing with the Doodle Art Illustrations tagline, but instead of doing it by letter, I did it by word. And you'll see certain parts of the footage from the stream of me being excited, because like I said, this was me experimenting and trying just what felt good. And yeah, I love the color palette of this new branding. I love the experimentation that it's inviting, all of it. So I like I said in some videos ago, just experiment, just have fun with it, just do what feels good. It's like, it's hard to say to get rid of imposter syndrome, but just try things out. Don't allow yourself to talk yourself out of trying out new things. So also what you'll see me doing a lot in this video is doing the replay. So because I want to make sure that everything that I'm doing looks how I want it to look, because there's nothing worse than doing all this work and then when you get to the end, it does not look like how you want it. It's not going in the right timing. None of that, because there's a lot you can do in your video editing software, but if you don't do the bulk of the work here in the creation process where you can easily edit stuff, it sucks having to export and then have to go back and edit. I actually just went through that process with my 7th episode of my webcomic. I thought I had finished all the panels. I go through to read through it again for a third time or second time. I'm seeing typos. I'm seeing misspelled words. I'm seeing all type of things. And then not only that, but when I did the coloring, going through it again, I'm seeing things I didn't color, seeing things that I had, miscolored. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I had to take everything down that I had scheduled for its release and then go back panel by panel and make sure everything was on point before I will re-upload it to the avenues that I needed to upload it for. So that was nerve-wracking. So I firmly believe that if you can get everything done in the actual software that you're starting in before you export it somewhere else, you're not doing more work. You're not doing it twice or 3 times just to get it done. Sorry, I had to get that out there just to speak on that. So this next portion of the animations, this is where it got really, really interesting. I wanted to add some razzle dazzle. So when you see, I don't know, I'm trying to remember what I had in mind, like what was the inspiration at that time. But oh gosh, okay, so you know how like when things get wiped away on the screen, like the transition wipe. I wanted to have that type of effect, but I wanted it to be in my illustration style. So I had to kind of sync up my squiggly lines to the erasing letters, because as I started the animation, the letters were coming in and then the movement of Crafting by the Pound in Doodle Art Illustrations. But on the way out, I wanted it to be erased to welcome in another portion of the animation. Now, mind you, again, I'll keep saying this so that y'all know, I was experimenting with this entire process. I did what felt good. I did what I felt would be really cool for me to do. And I think at this point, this is probably the greatest animation creation I've ever done. Now, if I can get a little bit more saucy with it and create a PNG character so that when I'm doing these voiceovers or when I am streaming on Twitch, I don't have to do face to camera anymore. I can just have my character speaking for me while I'm talking in my microphone. If I can get to that part, that'll be super awesome. I'm not there yet. So I am having to just sludge along, and because I am a self-taught illustrator, I am having to do these things at snail pace while some of my peers are doing it at lightning speed because they just got it like that. I don't know what their secret weapon is, but I applaud them for it. But for me, I have to go at snail's pace because that's the only way I feel confident that I am doing it the best for me. So yeah. And then I also played around with the animation settings, because I don't know if you know, you maybe don't unless you have Procreate, you can go into the animation settings. I don't know what none of the terminology means, but you know, I just be moving things around just to see what they look like, and whatever it looks like and it works great for me is what I end up using. So now I'm on the part where this, like I said, experimentation time. I finished the squiggly lines. As you can see in some of the playback, that it does disappear as the squiggly lines go. But I feel like I didn't want that to be the end. I wanted more. I bet you're thinking like, how much more does she want? She didn't got a whole movie at this point. I wanted more. I just wanted I wanted my art to be the first thing my audience saw and was pulled into whatever video I was getting ready to share with y'all. And I have to say I think at this point I was feeling a little like, Leona, you're going a little bit too far. You're doing a little bit too much at this point. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I think at this time also I was obsessed. I think this was like a few months ago, early this year actually. And I was obsessed with these like little bubbles of all different sizes, like little blobs. And I just wanted to have them everywhere. You'll see in the coloring pages later in this video. But I just wanted to have them everywhere. And having them everywhere was starting to get very overwhelming, because it got to the point where I was like, okay, Leona, do you just want to do blobs all day? Or do you actually have something in mind to use with these blobs? Because yikes. So yeah, I guess I could say I could break this animation up into 3 parts. You know, the lettering, see how, okay, sorry, I didn't mean to jump in, but see how the blobs look after the swiping of the lettering. I was so hype. On the day that I did this. I felt like I kept playing it over and over after stream just to see what it looks like. And even when I video edit today, just looking at it, I'm like, my gosh, you actually did that. You did that. And I am ecstatic that I, to this day, what is it, almost 10 years still in the game, you know, still experimenting, still trying things out, still having a love for it. That's a blessing. And that is something that I don't want to ever take for granted. I want to continue to embrace it, lean into it, celebrate it, because I'm telling you, I don't know where I would be if I didn't have the art. I don't know where I would be if I didn't have the art. Through all my highs and lows in life, my art has been there, you know, even when I have not been where I expected to be at, financially with my business, or accolades wise. You know, I've had to have reality checks with myself and be like, you know, Leona, you're still here. You still have a love for it. So regardless of what fruit you don't think you're seeing from it, still embrace it, still enjoy it, still love on it, still cultivate it, you know, still feed into it, because it has fed you, it has, you know, comforted you, it has kept you sane. So I don't mean to be sentimental, but I'm just like, you know, me and art, we have a bond. And it's seeming to be a lifelong bond, because I'm telling y'all, art was not my thing growing up. It wasn't my thing even in my early 20s. You know, now that I'm in my early 30s, it's crazy that art is still a driving force for me. It's still something that brings me joy, and it just reinvigorates me when I feel at my lowest, which is something that everybody should strive to find, that thing that does that for them. But I'll get off my soapbox. I don't want people to be like, what is she talking about? But if you know what I'm talking about and this resonates with you, shout out to you. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, so I don't really have much else to say about this animation, so I'm gonna go ahead and let some music take y'all away and soothe your ears while y'all watch me complete the rest of this animation. Like I said, I'm so proud of it, and if y'all ever have any questions on how I did certain things, don't be afraid to let me know in the comments, and I will do my best to answer them, or at least point you in the direction that may help you going forward. So I'm gonna let y'all listen to some music, and I will be back in lickety split, I think, because the next part of this video is the coloring pages for the coloring book coming soon. Okay, talk to y'all again. Hey y'all, just interrupting the video for a little bit because I wanted to share with y'all that I have some coloring books. I have recently published 4 coloring books. I revamped one. And these are some projects that I'm really truly proud of. These are designs from my own art collections that I was able to, rework into coloring books. And some of the coloring pages I believe will be available on my shop really, really soon. I have a huge backlog of things that I want to get into the shop, but for right now, I have these coloring books available on Amazon. I will be sure to link them down into the description or even in the pinned comments so that you can check them out yourselves. And if you like any of them, just go ahead and check them out. Purchase them if you would like to. I would really appreciate it. And let's get back to the video, y'all. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope y'all enjoying the video. And we're back, and now we're in the second part of this video, which is the coloring pages. I feel like I've talked about these coloring pages to an inch of their life. So since these coloring pages, I will say that I have kind of upgraded my workflow for coloring pages. If you have not followed me on social media, mainly my Instagram, you would know that I have a look of my coloring pages. And I say a look because I guess this started with my back to school coloring book, which if you saw the little snippet in between of what my coloring books that are published on Amazon, then that is the latest coloring book that I have published. And the pages in there is like a dotted border instead of this solid black border. And I like the dotted border better because it feels doodle art. It feels doodle art instead of the traditional look of a coloring book or just whatever. This hard, harsh black outline looks very harsh, compared to the dotted line art coloring pages that I create. And also, as a plug, I have a lot of coloring pages for less than $2 on my shop. If y'all love coloring like I do, if y'all love coloring pages and y'all collect them like we collected Pokemons back in the early 2000s, late 90s, go get y'all some coloring pages, especially if you enjoy my art. If you enjoy my art, go get you some coloring pages. I have a myriad. I even have bundles of coloring pages that I have created. I feel like I'm addicted to creating coloring pages, and they're not even part of any coloring books. Like, I have the coloring books, and then I have these coloring pages. These coloring pages are not part of any coloring book. So these are unreleased coloring pages. The coloring books have their own coloring pages. So if y'all love coloring pages, go support me, please, on my website and purchase a few. Because my goal for September is to have at least 5 orders this month. I'm hoping to reach that goal. If not, I'm still going to grind and still going to do what I love. But it would be nice if I could reach that goal, because then it'll let me know, what else I would, what strategies I would need to implement marketing wise on how to reach my audience better. But sorry, I didn't mean to plug that, but I just needed to say that because I saw a lot of people looking for printable coloring pages, and I'm like, I create printable coloring pages. And they're never seen before. Like, these are unique coloring pages. These are my art illustrations. So if you like my art, if you like how I do my thing, I have coloring pages. I have my art in my shop if you would love to support me there. It's in the description below. If not, it's at craftingbythepound.com. Real simple, real easy. I didn't want to bombard you. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so this is, I think, page 3. I don't know if I mentioned it in the intro which page I was doing for this portion of the video, but this is, I think, page 3, and this is a lettering of bookstore. So this coloring book, I think, is going to be more lettering heavy, and I used to not enjoy my handwriting because I think I was always either told or shown that left-handed people don't really have nice handwriting. And I remember in school I had teachers that tried to force me to write right-handed. I don't know what the beef people had with left-handers, but I'm left-handed. And I made it my business to not allow that to be a handicap or a disability, because that's how it was portrayed to me growing up. you know, with them trying to force me to write right-handed. And I have to say, and my teachers trying to force me to write right-handed, they taught me how to be ambidextrous. Sorry, I can't say that word. That I can now write with both hands. Not my right hand is not as unique as my left hand handwriting, but I can still write with my right hand. So them trying to force me to write right-handed, y'all lost, because now I can do both, and my left hand is still the GOAT. Boom, baby. Okay, sorry. That's to all them ladies that was trying to force me to write right-handed, as if being left-handed was a disease. So if y'all can see me now. Anyway, so yeah, that I don't even know what I was saying about that coloring page. I don't even know what I was going to say about that coloring page. I just went on a tangent. I am so sorry. So now we're on page 4. And I took the time to actually write out some pages, like page ideas that I wanted to have for some of this coloring book, because I felt like I was running out of ideas. And I want, if anything, my back to school coloring book, I think that might have been over 30 pages of illustrations. I'm not exactly sure, and I don't feel like grabbing my coloring book to see how many pages I put in that one, but I know it's over it might be 41. It might be 41 illustrations in my back to school coloring book. And I think for this particular coloring book that I don't have a name for it, but I have a theme. It's bookish themed. I don't know if I'm what I'm gonna call it just yet, but I wanted to have more. Like, I wanted it to be a big boy. I wanted it to be a big coloring book that, if need be, you can rip the pages out, scan them, and the whole family can color them. And so with it being book themed, there were some book sayings, because I am a huge book lover. There's some book sayings, some book terminologies that I wanted to hand letter. And I am so glad. I think the brush that I'm using is the let me, one moment. What's the brush? Gotta go back into my iPad, go into Procreate, and find the brush. Let me just go to a random. Okay, so it's called my outline brush. But what is the brush? I don't even know what the brush is. I think it might have been a monoline. Like, originally the base was a monoline brush in Procreate, and then I modified it. Like, I love modifying the base brushes in Procreate to my own specifications and how I want them to be, because I like the base of it, I like the composition of it, but I want it to be my own thing, so I'll change it and modify it and add things to it. So I use my outline brush to do the lettering. It's still in my own little wonky bubble letter style, but I wanted the streamline to be a little bit tighter, a little bit more what do you call it, I just wanted to be more easier to letter the letters, if that makes sense. And then I use my studio pen to do the designs around it. I don't know why I went so crazy with the background patterns, but that's just me. That's just what I like to do. I don't like white space, and if I do have white space, which all my coloring books have white space, and I recently published a reel and a short of me coloring the first page in my back to school coloring book, and I didn't like the white space, so I added a whole bunch of different elements on the back of it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Leona, you could have just added the background to this if you wanted a background, but I digress. But yeah, I mean, this is I think like I said, I think I only did 2 coloring pages for this part of the video, and yeah, it's pretty much the same rigmarole, but I have not touched this coloring book progress anything since early 2024, and we're now in September of 2024. Like I said, I don't have a name for this coloring book, but I have been coming out with coloring pages on my shop like it's going out of style. I just finished one actually 2 days ago. I just finished a new one. It's not posted on Instagram yet, and nor is it published in the shop yet, but I have a good chunk of coloring pages on my website. And they're all printable, instant download. You can print and color them at home, or you can digitally color them in Procreate or your favorite drawing app. But yeah, I've gotten pretty addicted to creating coloring pages, but I do want to get this coloring book out. But like I said, I am unsure of the publishing route to go with it. I think for right now I'm stuck with Amazon because it's free to publish. but I don't want to give Amazon any more of my money. I want to be able to have my own inventory and to be able to do what I want with my own coloring books and know that they're mine, and I don't have to worry about Amazon taking a chunk out of that for their own pleasures, especially since the split is not what I would like. You know, I don't know, but yeah. So that's my ramblings. I'm gonna let y'all watch the rest of this, have some music on, and then I'll be back at the end of this video to do the outro and send y'all off with well wishes. Okay, I'm going for real this time. Okay, bye. Well, would you look at that? We're back. We're looking at each other again. Okay, let me stop it. So this was, I like this format. I don't think I've ever talked this long really in a long freaking time without feeling like I was rambling. I think this is the first video I actually stayed on topic better than normal, that I actually felt excitement in talking about the things that I was talking about, and also just the opportunity to just take chances. So I like this format. I mean, it feels like I'm watching it and I'm adding commentary. Yeah, I'm adding commentary to my own footage. I'm watching myself and reacting to myself. Yeah, so am I a reaction art channel? I feel like my hair is, or maybe it's just the headphones. Why did I do that? Okay, whatever. Anyway, we're back. I have to wash my hair. It's like it gets its own curl pattern and it's growing so long. It's growing so long. I don't know. Yeah. I've colored it, but y'all can't even tell the color because it's so close to my actual natural hair color. I wanted to lighten it a little bit, but I just didn't get there. But if y'all could just see the spirals, man. Woo. I love it. I love this, like the little Shirley Temple coils in my hair. Anyway, I do want to go back blonde. If not blonde, then copper. Copper seems to very much be my skin color's best friend. So I do want to go back to that route. But until I get the look I want to go for, because I keep coloring my hair and then I keep cutting my hair off and then the color goes away. So anyway, I don't know how we got on the topic of hair, but we're here. We are here. I thank y'all. If y'all got to this point, I thank y'all for watching this far. I hope y'all enjoyed this unconventional video. I think this will be something that I'll do more often. Like I said, I have a lot of footage. And I want to stay consistent. Friday seems to be the day. I want to stay consistent, and I want to get this footage out to y'all because I feel like I have something to offer the illustration community, the art community, and I feel like by me not doing my due diligence of getting these videos out, I am holding my own self back, and I have determined that I'm not doing that anymore if I can help it. So this is my step forward, and it's not even the midnight hour. It is currently 10:44 my time, still on September 5th. So if I can get this out to y'all on September 6th, that means that I did it. And I still did it before midnight. Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. I will probably still have to do some more edits after I add this to the bulk of the video. Then I have to do the thumbnail, all that stuff. But that's like small potatoes compared to just getting this video how I want it to look. So yeah, how do I want to leave? How do I want to leave y'all? Should I just be abrupt and say goodbye, see y'all later, or should I just be like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you? Yeah, I guess thank you, and I hope y'all have a safe, blessed, and wonderful rest of your day. And I will talk to y'all in another video, I guess. So thank you again.